Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishkam Vitam Sya Om Jnana Timaranda Shagyana Jana Shalakaya Chakshuramilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gaurva Bhishtam Supurgam Gurganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Bhatanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwa Gurun Shah Devyat Bhagavat Prem Nawe Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanam Suchandavaranam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidim Subhakti Lasitam Sarasatanam Varam Bandetam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishwara Sridharam Manchakalpatarubhyaschat Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamaranyaya Krishna Prema Pranayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurata Vishenama. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Madhya-lila chapter 25. The residents of Varanasi become Vaishnavas. So I'll start with verse number 44. Vyasa Sutra Artha Acharya Koryache Achadan Ehoe Satya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Vachan. So I'm just repeating the concluding remarks of the main disciple of Prakashananda Saraswati, who is now all the Mayavadi sannyasis had been converted, and that's described in this, I think, the 7th chapter of the Adi-lila. So now in the Madhya-lila it's showing after they're converted, and this disciple of Prakashananda Saraswati says, the conclusion is that the import of the Vedanta Sutra is covered by the imaginary explanation of Shankar Acharya. Whatever Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said is perfectly true. Chaitanya Gosai Jai Kohe Se Matasar Arajat Mata Se Sab Charakar. Whatever meaning Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives is perfect. Any other interpretation is only a distortion. Eta Kohe Se Kori Krishna Sankirtan Shuni Prakashananda Kichu Kohena Bachan. After saying this, the disciple of Prakashananda Saraswati began to chant the holy name of Krishna. Hearing this, Prakashananda Saraswati made the following statement. Acharjara agraha advaitavad stapite tate sutrartam vyakya kore anyarite. Prakashananda Saraswati said, Shankar Acharya was very eager to establish the philosophy of monism. Therefore, he explained the Vedanta Sutra, or Vedanta philosophy, in a different way to support monistic philosophy. Bhagavat manile advaita najjai stapan ateva sab shastra koraye kandan. If one accepts the personality of God, the philosophy that maintains that God and the living entity are one cannot be established. Therefore, Shankar Acharya argued against and refuted all kinds of revealed scriptures. Jai granta karta chahe swamata stapite shastrara sahaja arta nahitaha hoite. Anyone who wants to establish his own opinion or philosophy certainly cannot explain any scripture according to the principle of direct interpretation. Mimam shaka kohe ishwara hoy karmera anga shankya kohe jagatera prakriti karana prasanga. The Mimamsaka philosophers conclude that if there is a God, he is subject to our fruitive activity. Similarly, the Shankar philosophers who analyze the cosmic manifestation say that the cause of the cosmos is material nature. Nyaya kohe paramanu hoite vishva hoy mayavadi nirvisesh brahme hetu koi. The followers of Nyaya, the philosophy of logic, maintain that the atom is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. And the Mayavadi philosophers maintain that the impersonal Brahman effulgence is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. Patanjala kohe jai, Puri Maharaj ki jai. Patanjala kohe Ishwara hoy Swarupa Gyan, Vedamate kohe tare Swayam Bhagavan. The Patanjala philosophers say that when one is self-realized, he understands the Lord. Similarly, according to the Vedas and Vedic principles, the original cause is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chayera chay mata vyasa koila avartan se sab sutra loya Vedanta varnan. After studying the 6 philosophical theses, Vyasadeva completely summarized them all in the aphorisms of Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta mate Brahma sakara nirupan nirguna vyatireke tiho hoy tas saguna. According to Vedanta philosophy, the absolute truth is a person. According to Vedanta philosophy, the absolute truth is a person. When the word nirguna, without qualities, is used, it is to be understood that the Lord has attributes that are totally spiritual. Paramakarana Ishwara keho nahimane swaswamata stape param matera kandane. Of the philosophers mentioned, none really cares for the Supreme Personality of God as the cause of all causes. They are always busy refuting the philosophical theories of others and establishing their own. Tatechai darshana hoite tattva nahi jani mahajana jeko he se satyamani. By studying the 6 philosophical theories, one cannot reach the absolute truth. It is therefore our duty to follow the path of the Mahajans, the authorities. Whatever they say should be accepted as the supreme truth. Tarko pratishta shutayo vibhina nasachva nasavrishir yasya matam nabinam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gata sapanta. Dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as the Shastras confirm, one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajans advocate. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Vani Amrita Radhar Tihoje Kohoye Bastu Se Tatvasar. The words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are a shower of nectar. Whatever he concludes to be the ultimate truth is indeed the summum bonum of all spiritual knowledge. Esab Pratanta Shuni Maharashtriya Brahman Prabhure Kohite Suke Korilagaman. After hearing all these statements, the Maharashtriya Brahman very jubilantly went to inform Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Henakale Mahaprabhu Panchanade Snan Kori Dekite Chalijachan Bindu Madhava Hari. When the Maharashtriya Brahmin went to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord was going to the temple of Bindu Madhava after bathing in the waters of the Panchanad. Pate se viprasab Britanta kohila Shuni Mahaprabhu Suke Ishadha Sila. When the Lord was on his way, the Maharashtrian Brahmin informed him about the incident that took place in the camp of Prakashananda Saraswati. Hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled happily. Madhava Sondarya Deki Avishta Hoila Aganete Ashi Premi Nachite Lagila. Upon reaching the temple of Bindu Madhava, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, seeing the beauty of Lord Bindu Madhava, became overwhelmed in ecstatic love. He then began to dance in the courtyard of the temple. Shekara Paramananda Tapan Sanatan Charijan Milikore Nama Sankirtan. There were 4 people accompanying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and these were Chandrasekhar, Paramananda Puri, Tapan Mishra, and Sanatan Goswami. They were all chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the following way. Haraya Nama Krishna Charavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shrimadu Sudana. They chanted Haraya Nama Krishna Charavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shrimadu Sudana. Chori Kete Lakak Lok Bole Hari Hari Utilo Mangala Dwani Swarga Martya Bari. In all directions, hundreds of thousands of people began to chant Hari Hari. Thus there was a tumultuous and auspicious sound that filled the entire universe. Nikate Haridwani Shuni Parakashanan. Nikate Haridwani Shuni Parakashananda Dekite Kotuke Aila Loya Sishyavrinda. When Prakashananda Saraswati, who was staying nearby, heard this tumultuous chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he and his disciples immediately came to see the Lord. Dekiya Prabhura Nritya Preman Dekira Madhuri Sishyagan Sangese Bole Hari Hari. When Prakashananda Saraswati saw the Lord, he and his disciples also joined the chanting with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prakashananda Saraswati was charmed by the Lord's dancing and ecstatic love and by the transcendental beauty of his body. Kampasveda, Bhangasveda, Vaivarnya Stamba, Ashrudaraya, Bijalok, Pulaka Kadamba. Ecstatic spiritual transformations began to take place in the Lord's body. His body trembled and his voice faltered. He perspired, turned pale, and wept a constant flow of tears, which wet all the people standing there. The eruptions on the Lord's body appeared like kadamba flowers. Harshadonya Chapel Jari Sanchari Bikar Deki Kashi Basi Loker Hoila Chamatkar. All the people were astonished to see the Lord's jubilation and humility and to hear him talk in ecstasy. Indeed, all the residents of Benares, Kashi, saw the bodily transformations and were astonished. Loka Sangata Deki Prabhura Baya Jabe Hoila Sanyasira Gana Deki Nritya Sambarila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regained his external consciousness, he saw that many Mayavadi sannyasis and other people were gathered there. He therefore suspended his dancing for the time being. Prakashananda Prabhu Bandila Charan, Prakashananda Asitara Dorila Charan. After stopping the kirtan, Mahaprabhu, who is a great example of humility, offered prayers unto the feet of Prakashananda Saraswati. At this, Prakashananda Saraswati immediately came forward and clasped the Lord's lotus feet. Prabhu Kohe Tumi Jagat Guru Pujatam Ami Tomara Na Hoy Sishyara Sishyasam. When Prakashananda Saraswati caught hold of the Lord's lotus feet, the Lord said, "My dear sir, you are the Jagat Guru, the spiritual master of the whole world. Therefore you are most worshipable. As far as I am concerned, I am not even on the level. I'm not even on the level of the disciple of your disciple. Shveshta hoya kene kora hinara bandhan amara sarvanash hoy tumi brahmasam. Mahaprabhu continue, you are a great spiritual advanced personality, and therefore you cannot worship a person like me. I am far inferior. If you do so, my spiritual power will be diminished, for you are as good as the Brahman. You should not. You are the Jagat Guru. You should not be. You should not be worshiping a person from like me. Otherwise, you will lose your position of being on the level of Brahman. Jajapito mare sa Brahma samabashe loka sikka lagi aiche korite na aishe. My dear sir, for you everyone is on the level of Brahman. But for the enlightenment of people in general, you should not behave in this way. Tehoko he tomara purve ninda paraje korila tomara chanana sparshe sab koi gela. Prakashananda Saraswati replied, formerly I committed many offenses against you by blaspheming you, but now the effects of my offenses are counteracted by my touching your lotus feet. Jivan mukta apipunar janti samsara vasanam jadi achintya mahashakto bhagavati aparadina. If a person considered liberated in this life commits offenses against the reservoir of inconceivable potencies, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will again fall down and desire the material atmosphere for material enjoyment. Savai Bhagavata Srimad Pada Sparsha Hatashubha Bejis Sarpa Vapur Hitva Rupam Vidya Dararchitam. Being touched by the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, that serpent was immediately freed from the reactions of his sinful life. Thus the serpent gave up his body and assumed the body of a beautiful Vidyadhara demigod. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. The inhabitants of Vrindaban, under the leadership of Nanda Maharaj, once went to the bank of the Saraswati on a pilgrimage. Nanda Maharaj was fasting and he lay down near the forest. At that time a serpent, who was formerly cursed by Angirasa Rishi, appeared. The serpent had formerly been named Sudarshan, and he had belonged to the Gandharva Loka planet. However, because he joked with the Rishi, he was condemned to take on the body of a big snake. When the serpent attacked Nanda Maharaj began to call, "Krishna, help!" Krishna immediately appeared and began to kick the serpent with his lotus feet. Due to being touched by the Lord's lotus feet, the serpent was immediately freed from the reactions of his sinful life. Being freed, he again assumed the original form of Sudarshan, the Gandharva. I believe he had started to swallow Nanda Maharaj, and then Mahaprabhu came and kicked him, and then he assumed the form again of a Gandharva. Prabhu kohe Vishnu Vishnu ame kudra jivahin jive Vishnu mani e aparada china. When Prakashananda Saraswati supported himself by quoting the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately protested by uttering the holy name of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu, Vishnu. The Lord then presented himself as a most fallen living entity, and he said, if someone accepts a fallen conditioned soul as Vishnu,